Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Eric Cave. I'm the director of Next Gen Ministries for the Pacific Northwest Conference. And today I'm super excited to get to introduce you to my new friend. Her name is Jen Plemmons, and she is the new children's ministry director at Shoreline Covenant. So, Jen, welcome. We're really glad that you're here. Please take a minute to share with us your personal and ministry background.
Okay, thank you for having me. I was a pastor's kid growing up, so I've been involved in the church my entire life. Pastor's kids tend to go one of two ways. They're either really good or really bad. I stayed on the really good side, so never really wavered in my faith and pretty much just continued to grow from there. I was baptized when I was about 6 or 7, and basically been in the church since then. Because my dad was a pastor, I did not want to go into ministry, and was very adamant that that was not what something I was going to do. I was not going to marry a pastor. I was not going to be a pastor. I wanted to go to church, show up, and then go home, and that was it. So I started majoring in biology when I got to college. About the end of my freshman year, I started to feel a call towards ministry. Was not ready to accept that. So I added a Bible and religion major to my biology major for my own personal edification. Stayed that way through about all of college. Got to the end of college, was still feeling a call to ministry, but not quite ready to fully accept that. Again, I loved being in school, so seminary was a easy next step. Didn't have to pay back student loans right away. Could stay in school. Easy life, much easier than, adulthood, basically. Stay in kid as long as possible. So I decided to go to seminary. Took a job as a children's and youth pastor during seminary when I was in seminary, and fell in love with the job and the kids and the position and the work. And so then fully accepted my call to ministry, and worked in a church from then up until just a couple of years ago. So I was in ministry for probably about 15 years,
Yeah.
doing church, youth, children's, Christian education, in multiple different states, cities, churches.
Okay.
Ended up in Seattle in about 2016 as a youth pastor. Was there for about 3 years, and then they kind of had a leadership shift, budget changes.
Mhm.
Um, and I was kind of looking for something else at the time, was getting married and looking for maybe something a little more sturdy, steady income. And so decided to get a master's of education, to go into teaching, since that was what I loved about youth and children's ministry, was the teaching part anyways.
Mhm.
So, and then decided I could finally use my biology degree. So I
Mhm.
became a science teacher. So I've been a science teacher in a middle school setting for the past 3, 4 years. About a year ago, I started feeling called back into sort of church parish ministry. Teaching middle school is definitely ministry in and of
Mhm.
itself,
Mhm.
but felt called into parish ministry. So started to look for just like a part-time kind of job. Found the children's position open at Shoreline, and here I am.
There you are, and we're so glad that you're here. So that's good. So tell us about life at Shoreline. What are you passionate about in ministry right now?
Really, my focus is just to get to know the kids, kind of find
Mhm.
out their personalities, kind of what they have been learning, what they know, what they like to do, what they want to know about, where they are in their spiritual journey. So that's kind of been my focus, has just been getting to know the kids and kind of trying various things. So we do Wednesday nights and Sunday mornings. And so that is what I am in charge of. My goal in ministry has always been just to get kids to come to know Jesus and the Bible on their own and not just because of their parents. So that's always my goal, is just to make Jesus relatable to them at wherever they are and at their level, so that they can connect with him other than just because their parents attend.
That's great. That's a fantastic goal. Well, you're pretty new. Like you just started in the fall, right? A
Yes.
couple months ago. So I'm sure there's a lot that's going on, but how can we be praying for you in this season of kind of starting new?
I would say probably the biggest thing is trying to figure out time management. So I do teach full time, and that in and of itself is a big thing. Teachers, unfortunately, just don't go to work and then go home and don't do nothing. So there's a lot of outside of school work that I have going on with that job.
Mhm.
And then pastoring is the other way. You don't just go to church and that's it. So still trying to figure out time management, figuring out how I can be the best at both positions at the same time without getting burnt out too
Mhm.
quickly.
Well, yeah, that's a good thing to be praying for, and I'll be praying for you. I hope people are watching will take a moment to pray for you and maybe commit to pray for you ongoing through this coming year, because that's probably going to be something you'll be learning for a while.
Probably.
Yeah, as you go along. So good. Thanks for sharing that with us. So, as our custom is, we're going to do shift gears a little bit and we'll ask you a few kind of fun, quick questions just to get to know you a little bit better. So,
Okay.
you ready?
Yes.
Yeah, the first question is, what is one thing you cannot resist?
Cheesecake.
Cheesecake. Do you have a favorite flavor of cheesecake?
I do not. I like just about all of them.
Any cheesecake from a certain place, Cheesecake Factory, Costco, doesn't matter.
Cheesecake Factory is pretty good. I also like my mom's homemade cheesecake.
Oh, that's
So
probably
that's
that,
that's
that's
hard to
the
beat.
answer. Your mom's is the answer. Yeah. Good. Okay, next question is, where is the best place you traveled to and why?
Rome would be my favorite place so far that I've been, because I am fascinated with the Vatican. The
Okay.
Pope would actually be my dream job. And so just fascinated with that whole aspect. And so just the history of Rome, the Pope, the Vatican, all of that stuff. It was just amazing to be able to see in person.
I was expecting you to say the Colosseum, but the Vatican.
The Vatican was my favorite,
Pope,
yes.
the Pope is your dream job. So that was going to be one of the questions. If you could do another job for just one day, what would it be? Would it be Pope?
Well, the Pope, then I could tour the Vatican for a day, but if I could just do
And
it for
all
a
the
day,
secrets,
I'd
go
probably go
all
with the Queen of England.
Queen
I
of
have
England? Oh
I have
man.
high aspirations.
Yeah, you're not messing around here. Those those are great answers. Good. Okay. Next question then is, which one would you want most? Flying cars, robot housekeepers, or moon cities?
Robot housekeeper. And my husband would probably say that that is a good choice for me as well.
Okay. We're close, maybe, you know.
I know I was actually
They're
just talking
like
about the Jetsons the other day with Pastor Sally, so I think it's close.
yeah. Okay. And our last question then, what is the best book you have ever read? And of course, we'll say, except the Bible. We all know the Bible's the best. But other than the Bible, what's your best book you've ever read?
I think that anything by C.S. Lewis, I
Oh,
love.
yeah.
Um, I think one of the books that had the most impact on me was The Great Divorce.
That's good. Mhm.
Very, very thought-provoking. Still think about it, still wrestle with those ideas, but love the Chronicles of Narnia, obviously. So really anything by C.S. Lewis.
Yeah, that's a good answer too. Safe answer. Everyone will love that answer. Good. All right. Well, Jen, thank you so much for saying yes to serve at Shoreline first off and becoming part of our conference. It's wonderful to have you. And thanks for taking the time today to let us get to know you. It's been wonderful, and I appreciate you sharing yourself and your life with us.
Thank you.